exercise on the space station?
Yeah. I didn't do much exercise because I only was there for 8 days on station. But the cosmonauts and astronauts exercise 2.5 hours every day. A problem with space flight is you do lose muscle mass. You don't realize right now as you're sitting here, you are burning energy because your head normally doesn't stay this way, it'll fall over. So you have to burn calories to keep it up. The same, support yourself with a chair. And, these are things you don't do on the station. And even though they exercise for 2.5 hours, they still, there's some loss of muscle mass. And also the calcium goes out of your bones. What they do in the 2.5 hours, they have spring weights, what they call is a bicycle and a treadmill. And the way the treadmill works is you have rubber bands connected to the floor that hold you down. You can adjust the tension. So that's what gives you the force to work against.
Why do you lose calcium?
I forget the medical reason, but it has to do. That's one of the unique things about weightlessness. I think it has to do with your bones not getting pressed on enough. I don't know the medical reasons, but because of that, because your bones aren't forced to exert pressure enough, the calcium goes out. Yeah.
Do they have any impact exercise, or is it?
By impact, what do you mean, like aerobic?
Well, like on Earth, if you want to build bone mass, you do things like jogging, jumping up and down that put stress on your bones.
Yeah. That's another thing about weightless. It's hard to dance in a weightless environment. I tried it because if you think about it, dancing is about weight shift and pushing off. And as soon as you do that, the slightest push off, you're in motion. All right, the body in motion stays in motion. So it's hard to do the kinds of things you think about with aerobics. Again, they did with the bicycle, the springs, and the treadmill. There's some of it, but
No centrifuge? Nothing to spin you up and do
no, we didn't have it on. By the way, one of the purposes of the station, really, there's two major purposes. One is to do scientific experiments in a weightless environment. The second thing is to learn about how to do long-duration space. Sergei Krikalev, who you saw, was a near-Olympic athlete. We've learned from him that it is possible to spend 2 years of your life in space and still be in pretty good condition. So we know we can fly to Mars, in fact. But there's a lot of stuff we have to learn, like about this calcium coming out of your bones, how to grow plants. Yeah.
Yeah, many people move around in your space, and how about the shuttle will be lost bearings or what?
Was your question about the shuttle?
Yeah, just like another shuttle, just like the space.
Yeah.
The space will be moved around or lost change orbit or what?
Oh, you mean when? No,
many people
because
moving inside.
Yeah. Again, it's 200 pounds versus about 2 million pounds. It's a very small effect. You're right. If you push off on the station has to react, but it's a very small effect. And the station has thrusters that can readjust its position. There's at least, if you like coordinate systems and similarity transformations, you love this stuff. There's at least 3 orientations for the station. I mean, one is inertial, where it just it orbits and never changes its orientation. And another one is what's called Earth orbit, where it's always pointing at the Earth. All right. A third one is solar orientation, where it's always rotated so that you get maximum solar radiation on the solar cells. So it is possible to change the orientation.
So there is a machine can be some hour we change it in orbit.
Yes, the thrusters. It's hydrogen peroxide, and it's put out on a platinum catalyst. So when it hits it, the oxygen and hydrogen separate, and that thrust is what adjusts it.
And off the wall question.
Yeah.
So if you stayed in space for 3 generations, do we think we'd lose our bone mass and we'd become more jellyfish-like?
I don't know, but that's one of the There's a lot of theories about that, and that's one of the reasons they do these experiments. But yeah, I think the consensus among the medical people is we would become weaker, despite all the exercise we do.
And more fish-like. I can see dolphins more in the way we go back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do they have any animal residents there? They keep there?
They have had, we didn't on our trip, we just had the radishes growing. You know, we're trying to see the effect of weightlessness on growth rate of plants, but squirrels, rabbits, the usual medical animals. Yeah.
Did you ever get a chance to turn the lights out and look at the night sky?
Yes, and it looks fabulous because you don't have the atmosphere blocking. I had difficulties identifying Orion because you don't see 3 stars on the belt, you see hundreds. You can't see Orion. Things didn't look any bigger, they just looked much clearer. Yeah.
As you're moving through there, it looks almost like you're going through tunnels. It's all fairly narrow in diameter.
Yeah, I would say it's you know that double doorway a little bigger. Maybe if you made it to the exit sign and squared it off. That's about the cross section. The best analogy I have is like 4 tractor trailers stuck together, the boxes. Yeah.
In the test, they talked about having a portion of the space station rotating to create an artificial gravity.
Yes.
Which would, I think, tend to take away that problem of loss of bone mass.
Correct.
Are there any plans for doing that on the space station, as far as you know?
No, not on the space station. One of the things, because of the shuttle situation with the last accident, so the shuttle and the NASA approach has really been more towards mission. And science has really gone into the background. So I don't think you'd see anything like that on the shuttle or the station. There's talk about it, but I don't know of any concrete plans to do something like that.
Yeah. What's the reason determine the height of the space station? Why is it going higher though?
You know, the question is why is it 220 miles an hour? Why is it? I don't really know the answer to that. Why that was chosen. I think because of the shuttle was supposed to be the main taxi vehicle.
Yeah, part of it is where you launch from and where you end up for some amount of energy.
Sure, that would affect it too. But I think the basic reason is the shuttle was not designed. I mean, the shuttle can go to 300-400 miles high. You know, went for the Hubble mission, but it's sort of in the hundreds of miles. It's not tens of thousands. You know, it's not the fuel and guidance system is not designed for that. So I think, all things considered, you know, why go higher? There's really no reason for it. Let's see what else. And with classes, everybody wants to know how do you go to the bathroom in space. So, these are toilets. That's a full one coming out and an empty going in. And you want to know what astronaut work is really like? This is John Phillips. He's been on the station for 6 months now. And Bill McArthur just arrived. He's on the floor. And John is showing him how to change out toilets.
Were they Americans?
Yes, they were both astronauts. So you need some unique tools to do this. The commander of the station always rotates. You know, 6 months it's a cosmonaut, then 6 months it's an astronaut. And Bill was commander when the ship. Now you see this hose here with the yellow funnel? That's what men use to urinate into. It's just like a vacuum cleaner hose. And if you like ISO 9000, you'll love space, because everything is done by procedures. And that's a foot strap, so it's, you know, step 1, put feet in foot straps so you don't float around. You know, if you turn on fan A, sit on seat B, and so on and so forth. So that's what men use. When female astronauts